One of the memories that left the deepest impression on me as a child was learning to ride a bike. My mom and my sister huddled around a young me who was too afraid to even grip the handlebar tightly, urging me on as I pleaded for them to hold on to the bike. Each day, however, we would retreat into our homes, defeated, as I once again failed to maintain balance on my bike for over a few measly seconds. A few unfruitful days passed, but I remained hopeful. Every night, I'd fall asleep wishing I'd get the hang of it until one night I had a dream. I remember I dreamed of riding a bike through a familiar park, but in a way that was so fluid and alien, it was as if my brain did not entirely recognize the experience. By the time morning came, the dream had all but faded into the recesses of my brain. But as I picked up my bike once again, I discovered that I was able to control it entirely, both in direction and speed, as I rode it in circles around our small living room. That was also one of the first times I had recognized the powers that a dream could have. The younger me had reflected upon this situation a few days later, wondering how much the dream actually had an impact on me learning how to ride a bike. Though the concept of dreams has been explored over centuries through various means like science and art, there's no absolute answer as to what they actually do, though some theories are obviously more substantial than others. However, by paying attention to them both as emotional indicators and sources of creativity and awareness, we can use dreams as a way to gain insight into ourselves and possibly strive towards self betterment. Most of us would probably view dreams as merely an extension of our daily lives, an almost perfunctory process that is repeated each night, whether we wanted to or not. We often dismiss them as unimportant, perhaps due to the frequency in which we experience them or the seemingly meaningless contents of some of our dreams. However, in each and every dream, there's a reflection of reality, as after all, it's our brains who are conjuring up those images. If dreams truly held no figment of meaning, then that would discount the millions of dreams shared by people around the globe, the often personal themes that occur, and the emotions we feel as a response to them. Understanding our dreams first require us to have the correct attitude towards them, and before we can apply them, we need to value their importance. So, what are dreams? In scientific terms, they're a phenomenon that occurs during REM sleep, also known as the deepest stage of sleep. During sleep, our bodies cycle around four different stages, known as stage 1, 2, 3, and finally REM sleep. During stage 1, we are nearly still conscious. We are only vaguely aware of our surroundings and we can experience sudden muscle twitches. This lasts for around 10 minutes on average before we transition to stage 2. Stage 2 is when we first recognize that we are asleep. Our heart rate slows and our body prepares for deeper sleep. We then reach the deep sleep phase. During stage 3, our body begins its repairs and restorations. Sleep talking and sleepwalking frequently occur in this stage. Finally, the stage of rapid eye movement is where dreams come into play. The brain becomes active and the eyes dash around. We spend 20% of our sleep time in this stage. Because our brain activity is so high during REM sleep, it's similar to as if we were actually awake. However, although these stages are generally sequential, we can jump from stage to stage in a cyclical fashion. Various theories have attempted to decipher the use of dreams. Generally, they're known to consolidate memories, review the waking moments, relieve the brain of tension, but despite centuries of attempting to understand them, they remain quite enigmatic in their functionality. Despite the general skepticism against the subconscious meaning behind dreams, research into their significance has undoubtedly been prevalent throughout history. Popular stories have only strengthened this idea. Although mostly artistically based, scientific theories of importance have also been said to draw inspiration from dreams. In realms of music, Paul McCartney of the Beatles described the conception of the song Yesterday. I woke up with a lovely tune in my head. That's great, I wonder what it is, before explaining that he had never written anything of a similar melody. The Prophet's song reportedly sprung from a fever dream experienced by Brian May of Queen. In art, Dali famously explored the subconscious with his works of surrealism and attempted to harness what came to him in his dreams. He described his own works as hand-painted dream photography. In literature, Stephen King, in an interview with Rolling Stone, said that he had all these crazy dreams, usually not very pleasant ones. The experience of the Torrance family in The Shining was first constructed because of a nightmare he had about his son, Joe. The concepts of inspiration being drawn from dreams extends beyond the realm of art and into science with the famous discovery of the Bunsen ring structure by Friedrich August Kekulé. Kekule dreamt of a snake consuming its own tail, which caused him to conceptualize the cyclical structure of the Benzen ring. The list continues on, a variety of subjects only contributing to the belief in the significance and power of inspiration within dreams. Earlier studies of dreams implied that they represented the subconscious state. Though historical analyses of the relationship between dreams and the emotions waking state differ, those theories were built on a basis in which the dream is communicating to the waking self. Sigmund Freud viewed dreams as a symbolic representation of suppressed emotions and unfulfilled needs, while Carl Jung viewed the dreaming state as something blatant, which do not deceive, do not lie, do not distort or disguise. Sigmund Freud argued that in dreams, our psychological defense mechanisms are lowered, and therefore aspects of ourselves we do not necessarily want to be aware of are bared. It could range from a simple desire left unfulfilled to some of the deepest urges that are hidden within each and every one of us. As to how these dreams are formed, Freud attributes this to a phenomenon called dream work. Dream work is what creates the often bizarre images within our dreams and can place often unrelated images next to each other in a confusing way because our mind will detach emotions and place it elsewhere in the mysterious workings of dream work logic. The dream work theory is what makes dreams so indecipherable and nonsensical. But this theory also states that the effects of dream work affect existing emotional messages, only modifying them and not creating. Therefore, by examining an existing images within a dream, it is possible to at least gather some information as to how the dream is formed. Obviously, Freud's theories stem back far in time and have been weathered by thorough criticism and a multitude of scientific theories countering the idea that dreams have any meaning to them at all. Most importantly, concepts such as the subconscious mind and dreams cannot be substantiated and are difficult to methodically experiment with. Again, dreams today are known as workings of the brain, retrieving images and memories to consolidate them or review them, and rarely may convey any intense messages which can directly lead to personal growth. However, recent studies such as Dream Rebound, The Return of Suppressed Thought in Dreams by Daniel M. Wigner and his colleagues published in the journal Psychological Science, researchers found that a rebound effect would occur in dreams if excessive suppression to particular thoughts were carried out. This is further corroborated by another journal published in the Journal of Sleep Research by Josie Malinowski and her co-authors, which provided evidence that high thought suppressors dreamt more of negative life experiences. This then suggests that suppression does in fact lead to a change in dreams, although this is nowhere near the intensity in which Freud's theory of dreams explained their purpose. It still denotes that dreams may be more revealing than just signals of the brain being transferred around. Furthermore, a study published in the journal Scientific Reports proved that the negativity or intensity shown in a dream echoed the emotional state of the dreamer by evaluating the depression, anxiety, stress scale of the test taker and analyzing the dreams provided. Suppressing emotions only served to intensify them. Moreover, the true danger of emotional repression lies beyond purely mental health, and Freud had even discovered the relations between physical symptoms and unfit emotional management more than a decade ago. In an experiment done by a group of professors at the University of Rochester Medical Center, an analysis of surveys done over a 12-year period seemed to convey that the suppression of emotions had a connection to mortality rates and increased susceptibility towards severe diseases. A solution to these problems could be a better understanding of our emotions and using that understanding to improve our emotional management. The first step to that, of course, is realizing the feelings that we have left unchecked for too long, in which dreams could play a role in telling us. By paying attention to our dreams, we can extract important ideas that could be revealing about our thoughts. They can possibly be used to aid in emotional management, which further extends to physical health, as established by the many studies seeking correlation between physical and emotional health. Moreover, in less applicable cases, we can draw inspiration from an unlikely place of dreams in the form of art, music, and even the sciences, as they may bring you some surprising insights to the problems that you could be facing in the present moment. So, after all these observations, I realized that I probably would have learned how to ride a bike regardless of the dream. However, the dream I had that night boosted my confidence and gave my brain the fabricated experience of something I'd been wanting to achieve, giving me just the extra push that helped me work out the process the very next morning.